Hi, I'm Stuart from SFB Leadworks. Welcome to the next job. Let's go and have a look, see what it's all about. Okay, so here we are. We've got this curved stone entrance portico to lead. I hope you can hear me all right. There's literally a digger working right there, so hopefully you can hear what I'm saying just about. So I have done one of these on this job already, although it was a slightly different detail. It didn't have this stonework here, it just had bricks all the way around. So I was able to get a nice upstand in that and some curved step flashing. But with this one, the builders don't want me to interfere with this stone whatsoever. It does make my life a bit tricky. So what I'm going to have to do is take this joint out here and all the way around here as carefully as I can, and slightly up there as well, and the lead's going to tuck into that stone, into there and in behind there. I'll give it an upstand here so I can do my normal step flashing on those sections, and then it's going to be mastic pointed all the way around there. Yeah, so that's going to be the detail of this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this. I haven't measured this yet, but I should imagine this is going to be split into 3 equal bays. So what I'll do is I'll measure the circumference from there to there, see what sides the bays are going to be. Just make sure, you know, I work out the lap to give it plenty of lap as well. And yeah, and that's about it really. That's going to be the start. So what I'll do is I'll do that, work out where the laps are going, get those joints all nicely chased out, get all the prep work done, and then we'll look at getting some lead in there. Okay, so I've just finished all this prep work now. I've managed to get in there quite nicely actually, and chased it out gone in quite deep, which is quite good. So I'll be able to get that lead turned in there quite a lot. That was a bit awkward getting in there, but we managed to get that done as well. Same on the other side as well. So that's all nicely chased out now, and also I've just marked out where these bays are going to be. So we've got three bays. It measures 3 meters and 30 from point to point. So I've just split that into 3, so 1 meter and 10. Put my marks where 1 meter and 10 is, and then I just needed to work out what lap I needed. And to do that, what you do, you get a tape measure and a level, and you need to measure up 75 mil and then put the level on to that 75 mil to its level. Wherever that level meets is how far lap you need, and in this case it's actually quite a lot. Let's have a look what that is. Yeah, it's actually 500 mil on this. So we've got all that set out now. I've also just templated the first bit of building paper. What we've done, or I say what I've done, is just put a bit of building paper on, cut the size of the bay with all my edges, and I've just marked where it's going to get turned in to that stone. So what I can do now is I can transfer this onto my lead, and I'll know roughly where I need to cut, etc. So I'm going to just get some lead cut now and get this first bay in. Okay, so I've just transferred that building paper onto that lead now, so that's all knocked up, ready to go, and then you can just use that template back as your underlay. So now that's in place, let's get this bay sat in. Okay, so that's that bay in. Actually, I can't believe how well that has gone in. I was expecting that to be a lot harder than that, but I think it's all to do with that joint there. Make sure, you know, nice and clear, and it's just going to go in like a glove, and especially if you template it. So that's that bay in. I've just got to fix that one, and then I can move on to this next side. I've already templated this side up as well, so it'll literally be just repeat that process. So we'll fix that first bay, and then we'll make this second bay and get that set in as well. Okay, so that's that second bay in there as well now. Again, that seemed to go surprisingly easy. could almost take this up for a living. Mind you, I wouldn't go that far. But anyway, there's both of those bays in now and all fixed as well. I've just marked the lap on both of these bays as well. I've just put a chalk line through. So I'm going to get that third bay cut to size, and then we'll weld some clips on and oil the underside, and then we can get that third bay sat in place. Okay, so I've got that last bay cut up here and oiled now on the underside, and I've just welded some clips on those bays as well and oiled that, so it's going to be oiled underneath the lap. So what I'm going to do now is get this last bay in, and then we can look at getting all these edges down. Okay, so that's that last bay in now. That's gone in okay. And what I've also done is I've put some ball clips in that chase as well, just to keep that pinned in. Right, so now that bay's in, what I'm going to do now is look at getting all these edges down. So what I'm going to do first is oil the underside of that all the way around, and then I'm going to get these sides down first. What I've got underneath, which you didn't see, is I've already fixed some copper in there. So I'm going to welt that round, tuck it into the copper, and then we can dress that back against the stone. Okay, so I'm just in the process now of getting all these edges turned down. So what I've done is I've measured in and cut where it meets the stone, there and there. And I've just dressed that flat against. And now I've just marked my fold line, which in this case is going to be 50mm, and then I've just added another 25mm onto that, and I've just cut the excess off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a pair of seaming pliers, and I'm just going to work my way along there slowly with some seaming pliers, folding that line. What I'll probably have to do is fold this lead out away from the stone a little bit in order to do the last bit with my fingers. Then I'll get a metal plate behind that, dress it all flat, dress it back against the stone. And I've just done this side using that technique. So that's that side done. So I'm going to get the other side done, and then I can have a look at getting the front down. Okay, so I've just finished dressing down that edge now, so that's all done. Now it's time to look at this front. What I've already done is I've already cut off all the excess, so we're only going to dress down what we need now. So just using the rubber mallet, I'm just going to work it against the edge there slowly, and what you're probably going to find is it's going to start corrugating and creasing. So before it gets too mad, just get a chase wedge underneath it and sort of like dress it back out again, and that's how we can get that down. So what I'm going to do now is work my way all the way around this front, and then we can scribe a line to get it welted. Okay, so I've started dressing this front down now. Pretty much got it all down, to be honest with you. So I've dressed down the two front bays, and then I've scribed a line where I want it to fold, and I've just allowed an extra 25mm as a fold line. So I've done that all the way around. Now where I've cut this bit out, that's where the lap's going to be. If you don't cut that bit out, you're going to end up with like a double thickness there, and you're not going to get a continual straight line following around the curve. So that's all cut out, ready for that third bay. But I think before I get that one down, what I'm going to do is get some seaming pliers now. I'm just going to fold that line and welt it back on itself. Then I can look at getting the last bay down. Okay, so that's those two bottom bays all welted and dressed down now against the stone. So now let's have a look at this last one. Okay, so I've just dressed down that last bay now. That's gone down quite nicely. So what I'm going to do now is get my tape measure. I'm going to scribe the rest of the line round, about 42mm. So I'll scribe that line round at 42mm, and then we'll welt that into the other bays, and that'll be all that front edge down. Okay, so that's that front edge all completely finished now. So now that's all nicely turned down. What I'm going to do now is weld some gussets in. So we've got a gusset to weld in there. Just see it just there. Got another one to weld in there. Got one more to weld in there. One to weld in there. So we'll get these gussets welded in, and then we can look at getting these bits of step flashings done. Okay, so that's all these gussets welded in now. So what I'm going to do now is have a look at these step flashings. I'm just starting this over here now. So what I've done is I've cut a piece of lead wider than what I need. I want it to end up about 150 mil, but we've got the curve, so we need to do it bigger. So I'm just going to rest it on there like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a batten and I'm going to scribe a line all the way down there, and then that's going to give me my curve. And then I can, from my cut line, I can then measure 150 mil, and that'll give me my top curve as well. So I'm just going to get this done, and hopefully I'll be able to use this side as a template for the other one too. Okay, so that's both of those step flashings in now. So all that's left to do now, I've just given it a little sweep off. Got a bit of mastic pointing to do, give it a coat of oil, and that'll be job done. Okay, so that's all that mastic pointing done now, and I'm just giving it a coat of oil as well. So that is job done. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can check me out on Instagram at SLB Leadworks. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hopefully catch you in the next. Cheers.